Yo, what's going on, man? This is Dad checking in with the Dad podcast. I got a special one today. Today's Martin Luther King Day, so today just celebrating Black excellence. This podcast was brought together really to give roses to those who are still here with us, man, to celebrate excellence. A lot of times we lose somebody and then we want to think about all the great things we did. So I got a special guest today. It's not only a great entrepreneur, great businessman, a great father, a great friend, but it's a personal friend of mine. And I'm seeing what he's doing and seeing the excellence he's doing, not just in the brand that he sponsors and the brand that he owns and the brand that he puts out there and the motivational quotes he puts out there, but just his whole story. So I wanted to bring him out here, show him what he got. He can tell you his story. You can learn from him. And for all those guys starting a new business and new ventures in the new year, the best way you can do it is get motivated by my man right here. So what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up? What's up? Well, what's popping with you, man? First, I just want to say thank you for that incredible introduction, man. You got me crying over here. Who cut the onions? You know what I mean? But thank you, man. And likewise, man, you're also an extraordinary father. You know what I'm saying? An incredible person. And I just wanted to just thank you for just allowing me to even talk to you today. You know what I'm saying? About what's going on with motivation wearing myself.
So what's the best? I mean, you gotta know you wear a lot of hats, you go by a lot of names. What's the best way to introduce you? What name you going by now?
By now, 2021, I'm still Jigs, man. But on a more professional side, Jamal Lawson, that's the government name. Yeah. But a lot of people throughout the world just know me as Jigs. You know what I mean? And or Mr. Motivation. So, I mean, whatever you feel comfortable with telling me. I mean, calling me.
Yeah. I mean, Pitbull's Mr. Worldwide, but you're doing it. You are doing it worldwide, man. But my question is, you started locally. You started right here in Providence.
Yeah.
Now, where you go from Providence to all the way to Brazil? Like, where'd that drive come from?
Just thinking big.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that when we started, a lot of people don't know. I only had $100 to start the brand with. That was literally what was in my pocket, and it was something that I truly had a desire in doing. So, a lot of people don't start because they don't want to start small.
Mm-hmm.
Me, on the other hand, I had to start small because, again, the only thing I had was $100. And the drive to start wanting to network in other countries and want to push a brand that, that keeps the world motivated. And I want to have a lot of people to know about the brand. It's just seeing what, Nike's doing, Puma's doing, Adidas is doing, like seeing all these major leading companies, like they're global companies, you know what I'm saying? So at some point, the founder, they had to think big, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted to think big with what I was doing, you know what I'm saying? Originally, we're from Providence, Rhode Island, and I just wanted my brand everywhere. I didn't just want a local brand. I didn't just want my clothes store sold at the corner market. I want my brand everywhere. So the first thing I said was when I started was, I'm going to create a brand that keeps the world motivated, and I'm going to go for it.
Now, question, I know you probably had a lot of people telling you, like, it won't work or it's this and that.
Yeah.
So when you hear that, what do you tell a young person who's starting theirs? Like, what do you tell them to keep going the way you did?
Yeah, of course, you're going to hear it. You're going to hear it from friends, family, co-workers. You might even hear it from your parents. You know what I'm saying? That is why it's key and it's major that you have to stay focused and you have to do what you want to do. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because it might be somebody, your closest friend, your best friend, they're going to be like, man, you're not going to be able to accomplish that. You're not going to be able to do that. That doesn't make sense. How are you going to do this? How are you going to get, hey, Jakes, how are you going to get sales in France? You've never been to France. How are you going to get sales in Australia? How are you going to build a team here? How are you going to build a team there? You can do it, but you just got to stay focused and you got to just always remember your vision. What do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish? And then you just have to go after it. So it's not going to be easy. You know what I'm saying? It may look easy for the people on the outside looking in, but when you're on the inside, you're trying to build your brand, your company, or your product going out, it's going to be extremely hard. But back to what you were saying, the best thing you can possibly do is just believe in yourself and just don't doubt yourself.
Nah, man, so I'm rocking one of your original one, Next Level Living.
Oh, wow, that's dope. And that's the first collection we ever released. And I have on the classic logo. Mm-hmm. What you're wearing we didn't even have a logo when that collection came out. So that's how powerful that collection is, man.
I still remember that, and I have you probably can't see it, but I got the bucket hat in the back, the military bucket hat.
The military bucket, yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the.
Those are all first year items. Like, it's crazy.
I still remember that was one of the first times when you put my son on your page, and I showed him he was getting these likes from all over the world. He started thinking he was famous, and I told him, man, that's what it's all about, man. It's supporting people that, you know what I'm saying, you know personally. You don't need to support these big, huge corporations, man. You know people that you know personally. Yeah. And when he see this picture on your page and he was like, oh, he's famous now. I was like, hey, come on, start small. But just like you showing love to like the small kids, even when you have the the cool kids motivate.
Yeah, all right.
Stuff like that. So when you give back to the kids, man, like, and you see kids out there and you're giving them a positive thing to look at, what's that driven by?
I think that's honestly not that I think, I know it's driven by me growing up and not so much the support or the love. You know what I'm saying? Like, growing up in the late 80s, the early 90s, there wasn't really too much of the older kids or the older people who you're trying to be like giving back or empower. I didn't have nobody empowering me growing up. I didn't have anybody on me like that growing up until I got to high school. You know what I mean? Then I started playing like maybe a little bit of AAU basketball, and I met a few great coaches. But from the ages of being young into my 15s, to the 15s and the 16-year-olds and stuff like that, none of that existed. Not where I was from. You know what I mean? So with the brand is, I always think back as to when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, what can I possibly do to maybe I can motivate these kids, the things that I didn't get growing up. So with the Cool Kids Motivate collection is, and honestly, it was more of like an anti-bullying collection, because cool kids, that's what they do. They motivate. They don't pick on each other. They don't bully each other. They don't put other kids down. If you're a real cool kid, then you motivate, you empower other people, you make people feel good about themselves and stuff like that. That is what a real friend is. So even though that collection, it means more than what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, Cool Kids, like, it means a lot more than what people actually see in it.
I know you had the vegan line too for a little bit.
Yeah,
I know that was something that you were doing personally. Like, what made you make that life change there?
Networking, honestly. You know, I always knew what a vegan was, but not to the extent. You know what I mean? And I didn't know that many vegans until I started doing motivation in Mexico. I ended up meeting with the Yam twins, and they was just showing me stuff. And then my team in the UK, motivation in UK, my whole team, there was 17 athletes. Well, they was all vegan.
Wow.
So I'm like, wait, hold on.
Like something, right?
Yeah, like, what is going on over there in the UK? Like, they were all vegan, and I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, and they're top of the line athletes. So I'm like, what's going on here? So they was just giving me information on veganism and stuff like that, a few things to watch. And I'm like, this is definitely for me. You know what I mean? Like you're wearing the Next Level Living collection. And then the second collection that came out in that first year was the Next Level Addict collection. And then when we went vegan, we came up with the Next Level Vegan collection. So it was just different levels of life that we was leveling to, and we was releasing collections because we was actually living it. You know what I'm saying? So that's how the whole vegan thing came into play. And veganism has been dope. It's been dope. It's been what, almost 5 years now.
And how you feel with the change? A lot better?
Yeah, I feel a lot better. Like, I can't even remember back to how I used to feel before, because it's been so long as being a vegan and stuff. And it's just, I be around a lot of people who are not, and they always talk about how their energy levels are low and how tired they are. And then, you know what I mean? I'm not the type of person to be like, well, because you're doing, like, I don't push veganism on people, but it's definitely something to check out, man. You got to do it for yourself. Don't just do it because somebody else is doing it. You know what I mean? Like, definitely do your research and your due diligences and stuff, and see if veganism's for you, man. But it's definitely a whole nother world, man. It's definitely a whole nother world.
And another thing I got to big you up on is all the boxers and the fighters I see rocking your gear. Like, how did that come across with you and these different athletes wearing them into the ring and wearing them ringside? Like, how'd that come about?
Honestly, social media. Like, social media is so powerful. If you could utilize social media correctly, it is powerful. And as you know, and as the viewers may know, I travel a lot. That's one thing I do. I travel a lot. I'm not afraid to go anywhere. So when I'm traveling and I'm networking, I'm going to events, and there's just a room, it's just a room ton of people, and we're at, civic centers, we're at these halls, we're at this. People see this logo and everybody, what is that? That's the first thing somebody says. When they see this logo, what do you want? I tell them, oh, it's motivation wear, and blah, 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 while empowering humanity, stuff. They go, oh, man, I'm interested in that. You know what I mean? And now me personally, I don't know who this person is or if they're fighters or this, and then they tell me they do this, do that. We set up a collaboration and we just get busy. So as far as meeting fighters and meeting athletes and all of that stuff, it's because we travel. We travel so much. We're always, it's not that we're in the right place. It's just that we're not afraid to travel. And I think that when people try to expand their brands, they don't want to travel anywhere. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do that. Then who's going to see your brand?
Yeah. So now, have you been affected by COVID at all?
Yeah and no. Okay. Yeah, as far as a lot of my brand ambassadors and athletes and a lot of them kind of stopped doing what they were already, you know what I'm saying? Like the athletes, like the Thai boxer and stuff, he wasn't training as much and stuff like that. Brand ambassadors are not doing as much because a lot of things was closed down. One thing that really did affect motivation due to COVID was even me traveling, because I usually travel about 3-4 times a month. During the whole COVID, when it peaked, I wasn't traveling at all or anything like that. So a lot of things was done online. I could definitely say, it was motivation definitely was affected. But to put it into perspective is you gotta, when you get affected in one area, you gotta try to build in another. You know what I mean? COVID, no one's doing anything. No photographers are working, video art, like everything shut down. And we're really big on doing photography and doing videos and pushing the brand like that. So it definitely slowed a lot of things down.
I know we're going into a new year now, and so what's next for motivation? We're going to 2021.
2021's here. Honestly, I stopped. I would say around September of 2019. I went into September just already focusing on making moves in 2021. So you could say I kind of ended my year a little early in 2019 because I just wanted to really focus on 2021. So what we're doing right now is we're still doing direct to consumer, independent brand. We have a lot of stores that are reaching out as far as putting our brand into their stores, but just more on the business. And so many businesses, they lost a lot of money. So we're just trying to position ourselves to where we can sell X amount of items for X amount of dollars so it could be in their store rather than we're getting a lot of offers as far as we would have to supply the product, put it in their store, see how it sells. And that's just not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
have you ever thought about getting your own store, like brick and mortar?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's just location. And the last 3 years, I lived in 4 different states. So it's like location's key, man. And it's like trying to just figure out where we're going to put it at. If I'm going to go back to Rhode Island and put a store in Rhode Island back home, it's just figuring out, the right location and just seeing what it is. But motivation with store is definitely in the works. It's just we're so good online and direct to consumer. Opening up a store will make us or break us, but you can't be afraid of doing it. It's just location, honestly.
Now, as far as what's coming up next, you have a team. You say you have a team around you, and it's spread out throughout the world and everything. How's your team doing with everything? Are they everyone's healthy? Everyone's good?
Everyone's healthy. Everyone's good. During COVID, a lot of people, I think it shocked a lot of people. COVID definitely shocked a lot of people. And it doesn't even just go to my team. It goes to like my team's family and stuff. A lot of my team's family, it hit them hard. You know what I mean? And I just want to touch on like concentration and folk. Like even my family hit hard. But the reason why I'm here doing this video today is it's just concentration. You know what I'm saying? COVID broke a lot of people down across the world, and you have to be focused. You have to concentrate. You have to really thrive. You know what I'm saying? And I could have quit during COVID. There could be no motivation. Like, you know what I'm saying? I could have quit plenty of times during COVID. Our manufacturers backed up, a lot of stuff that I was going to release. I did not release. It took months and months to get done. Just everything was going wrong. So I think that just you just gotta focus. You know what I'm saying? And just remember why you started and stuff like that. And I think you can just get through anything that way.
And did you have before you even started, did you have like a team around you as far as motivating you to get going, or was it just self motivation really?
Man, it was self motivation. When I first started, a good friend of mine, 6'5", was next to me, and Miss King, Kelly King, and those are the two people that actually, see me like, yo, this motivation way is gonna pop, yo. Like,
Yeah.
I just feel like motivated. Like it was more of a self thing, but those are the two people who was like literally in the same room with me right there. And I'm like, I'm gonna create something that's gonna motivate the world. And I know they was looking at me like, man, what are you talking about, man? Like, take another drink. I'm like, all right, watch and see what happens. But it was definitely more self motivation, and it was definitely something that I could see myself doing for the rest of my life. So that's where the drive and the fire comes from.
And did you get a good following here in Rhode Island, or was it how was that? How was the reception in Rhode Island?
You know what? I didn't even when we started motivation where I didn't even focus back home on Rhode Island because I
Yeah.
was just so I had so much ambition to touch all these places because to me home's home. And if
Yeah.
people see what you're doing from home, then you ain't gotta worry about it. You know what I mean? So I really didn't focus on anything that was going on at home. That's why I was traveling so much and going here and sponsoring events at Madison Square Garden, I was sponsoring events and athletes in countries I never even been to.
Mhm.
Like, and still to this day, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? COVID canceled a lot of them and stuff like that, but still to this day, we sponsor athletes all over the world in events. And I can't travel to all of them. Like, it's impossible. You know what I mean? So, but yes, I think it's just driving the ambition, man. But home's home. I do get some support from home, but it's just always one of those up and down things, though, with home.
Yeah, one thing about Rhode Island, man, it's tough because a lot of times you have so much talent around Rhode Island and people don't know about it. And then once somebody goes mainstream, everyone wants to piggyback, everyone wants to jump on them. Like, I mean, there's like great musicians here, there's great artists here. No one knows them. All of a sudden, they go on national TV, and now everyone's like, I remember when we used to hang out back in middle school. The person
Yeah,
probably has no idea who you are, and it's just Rhode Island. That's why it's so tough, like for businesses and
yeah,
artists coming up in Rhode Island, because it's saturated in a small area.
yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right with that. And also I think it is too. Rhode Island's a special place, and I don't mean special in a good way, and I don't mean special in a bad way. It's just
Yeah.
a special place. And if you could just get out of the mindset of the Rhode Island mindset that we do carry, you'll be all right. And I always say, if you can make it in Rhode Island, you can make it anywhere. The level of support is weird.
Mhm.
Home is weird. And like you said, there's so much talent there. There's so many rappers, there's so many musicians, there's so many dancers, artists like that are originally from Rhode Island, Providence, Pawtucket, wherever they're from, but they never blossom into anything. It's because of the lack of support that's back home. And
Yeah.
people will and people will know how excellent you are in something. It's just that home's just like it's I don't know, man. Like I just don't understand it sometimes. Like how come we can't build this person up to get to this level? And then you know what I'm saying? Like I don't get it. Like I never really have an answer for it, and I don't think I'll never understand it. But I do know that it's a non-supportive place, man. Only very few people will support you, like you said, until you reach a certain echelon or level, and then oh yo, that's my cousin, or yo, that's my boy. I remember him from elementary school. All right, it's crazy, and it's gonna be like that for so many more years to come because I know a lot of talented people who are in Rhode Island, and I see them now getting supported by their bestest of friends, and it's like these you can't hang around these people. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Especially if you're trying to achieve something, but it comes down to acceptance. If people accept that type of behavior from people, then they're gonna treat you that way.
No, with everything that happened last year with the whole Black Lives Matter movement and the police brutality movement, did that affect your business being a black-owned business, or was it something that you kind of stayed away from?
Um, Not something that I stayed away from. Anything like personal like that or politics or anything. I never really publicly talk about those things. But as far as effective motivation, where it has not, um, even as much as I achieved with motivation, where people still don't know me. Like people,
Yeah.
I'm still a no, but I still got so many levels to go, so many years of pushing the brand and being better and stuff like that. So no, I wouldn't say it affect motivation at all.
Now, did it help you be at all being a black-owned business?
Yeah, I got a little light shined on me, but again,
Hmm.
like no one knows what Rhode Island is. Like no one, like the state of Rhode Island. People be like, "Yo, you're from where?" All right, yeah, and I tell them they're like, "All right, where is like so many people don't even know where it is." But as far as being a black business owner and owning motivation, when people see the brand, they're like, "You don't own that." I'd be like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm serious. Like I'm the owner, the founder," and people really don't believe me.
yeah.
Like I'm serious. Like I could be in Walmart, I could be at the bank, I could be at Stop and Shop wearing the brand, and a person would be like, "Oh man, that's a nice jacket." Oh yeah, I actually own this. And they're looking at me like I got 17 heads. Like you own that.
Yeah.
Like wow, that's nice. Like yeah, thank you. Here's my business card. It's called Motivation Wear. Like people really don't. So I don't know if it's the skin color, dressed, or whatever the case may be, but like they really don't believe I own this.
And that's probably something that motivates you even more.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. And then I always smirk because I know. You know what I mean? When I walk into a store and I see somebody looking at me, I'm like, oh yeah. They see the logo in the back. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Now, and with everything else that's going on. I mean, I know you have a young queen back here. How's she
Mhm.
doing?
She's doing great, man. So first year in high school, virtual school and
Oh,
stuff. You know what I mean? Um, She's doing great. She loves school, and that's what makes me happy. But she's unhappy that she can't be in school full time, which might sound a little weird because a lot of kids might not. But my daughter loves school. Like I guess she gets that from me. Man, I used to tell her how much I used to be one of the first kids in school every single day. Man, I used to love school.
you gonna
So
shout that high school out?
huh?
You gonna shout that high school out?
Yeah. Hope High School. Hope High
Yeah.
School, Providence, Rhode Island. I was one of the, and people who see this video, man, make sure you let them know, man. I was one of the first kids in high school because I just had a pattern of where I needed to be. This time I had to go by this lock. I had to do this route. So I used to be one of the first kids in high school, man. And my daughter, she loves school. So her doing homeschooling, like she's just sick and tired of it, man.
You're planning. She jump on the brand when she's all done. She into fashion too?
She's into fashion. Yeah, she's not. You said, does she have? Is she on the gram, the
No,
Instagram?
no, no, no. Sorry. Is she jumping on your brand when she's all done?
Oh, on the brand. Yeah. She has, I think she has more motivation than me. But still to this day, you know what? She's so shy. Because
Yeah.
even when we go out, we wear the matching hoodies and the clothes and stuff. And people will come up to us, oh man, that's so cute. I love you. So I look at my daughter, she'll just be like, yeah, nobody. You think you're somebody all the
Kids
time,
are
man.
too much.
Yeah, but she wears the brand in school. She's still in her shy stages though, man. Like, and but yeah, she loves the brand and she helps me out so much, man. Like she's been with the brand ever since the beginning too, man. So it's definitely a dope feeling.
They're impacting people in other ways. They're being great fathers. They're doing something with their life. And you can't just sit around and be with people who are doing the same thing over and over. And that's
Yeah.
one thing. I just see your motivational quotes, and sometimes you'll send out a quote, and you don't know when the person needs to hear that, or you don't know when the person needs to read that. And it's
Yeah.
something I always wonder, man. Like you just put out a quote, and I'm like, oh, where did you get this from? So what's going on in your brain when you're putting some of these quotes out? Or is it just constant?
It's constant. I think that even as just people as individuals, I think we all have something to say, whether it's the talker in the class, whether it's the quiet person in the class. You know what I'm saying? I think we just all have something to say. And then what I do with social media, I always just use that as a canvas. You know what I'm saying? And everything that I do, motivation with quotes, that's my art. So when I
Yeah.
put out a quote, it's just something that just I could be riding along and something will just I'm just self-motivating myself, like, yo, damn, that makes sense. Let me post that. Somebody's gonna catch it or somebody's not gonna catch it. You know what I mean? And a lot of times it's early mornings. It's like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'll wake up and something will just be in my head. I just be like, yo, wow, woof, I gotta put that out there. You know what I'm saying? It's just like writing, it's just like being a rapper or a musician or something. You got all these bars in your head, you're just writing down stuff. You know what I mean? So I think it's the same concept.
Now, did you ever think about doing motivational speaking?
Um, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I could definitely put that into play. Shit, I could do a motivational speak tomorrow. Like I'd be so
Yeah.
ready. It's just that Like I just be doing so many things, man. But definitely motivational speaking and speaking to people. You know what I mean? Speaking to kids, speaking to even adults. You know what I mean? Just through the mistakes that I've made, and you know, yeah, I could definitely do it.
Yeah, that's definitely something I could see you doing, man. And especially right now, because you have so many people wanting to start businesses or wanting to start something, wanting to change with the new year, but they're afraid to. And
Yeah,
just your drive and your passion, man. It's what a lot of people need to hear. And it's all
definitely.
about taking that first step.
Yep, you got to take that first step, man. Forget trying to, you know what it is. It's the small steps that people don't want to take. And then, like I said in the beginning of the video and stuff, man. I started with $100.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm seeing people start at 100 grand, 150 grand, and it's like, damn, they're gonna
Hmm.
do better than me because they have more money. But at the
Yeah.
end of the day, they have bigger problems than me. I'm failing with $100. They fail, they're losing a lot more money than me. So when I started at the bottom, now as I look at it, was like that was the best thing I could have ever did because some of the mistakes that were made, I had very, very, very small losses. Now
Yeah.
imagine we started with like $250,000 and make a mistake. That's a big mistake. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
so to the people who are starting off small, start. You know what I mean? Just put one leg in there. Find somebody who's already doing it, someone who's successful in it. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean, and just try to pick their brain and see what they did, what they didn't do. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody makes mistakes, everybody takes losses and stuff like that. You just can't be afraid to start. That's all.
I think a big thing too, especially nowadays, everyone has so much pride. For
Yeah,
one, they're afraid to ask for help, and they're
yep.
afraid to ask questions because you think that if I ask you a question on how you did it, that you're gonna be like, "Why are you trying to steal my ideas?" They don't
Mhm.
understand there's some people that are willing to help. Now, do you have people starting up asking you for advice already, or?
Yeah, and then what's crazy is when I first started, people like the first year, first 2, 3 months, people asked me, "Yo, how did you like the hoodie that you're wearing? Yo, how did you do that?" And
Yeah.
I really didn't have the answers. Like I went to the printing company, we put this on you know, all these people asking for advice, like my first year in the business, and I really didn't have the answers because it's like I'm just grinding right now. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, but now people who are getting into the game and stuff, into fashion and all to active wear and stuff, they ask me, yo, how do I go about this? How do I go about that? I always tell them, listen, this is how I started. You
Yeah.
don't need 10 grand, 15 grand, 20 grand. People are trying to sell you a package for 25 grand, 50 grand. You don't need all that stuff. Now, if you choose to go that path, go it, but you don't need it. You don't really need it. You know what I mean? Because if you think you need money to start, then you're gonna think you need money to fix the problem. Sometimes it's not even money that's needed to fix the problem.
Now, is all of your stuff made here locally, or what? I mean, in the U.S.
I still get certain items made in the U.S., but as far as like my top quality athletic wear and stuff, I get it made overseas. It just makes more sense with the numbers and stuff like that. So I get that made overseas, but I still get certain collections made here in the U.S. Yeah.
What's the turnaround time? So if you get a new idea in your head, like how fast are you out putting that out?
I say on a month. It depends honestly. Like as far as what my manufacturers are back up and running, my production team is great. If I think it's something on a Monday, I'll get a mock up that same day. Whatever's going on in my mind, I could have that sample by the following Monday within 7 days. As far as
That's
sample in hand, and that's coming from overseas. So from the time whatever's going on in my head to a mock up to me getting that sample, like the quality material exact in my hand, it'll probably take 7 days.
that's crazy. And in 7 days, you got some people afraid to make that first move, and you're already on to your next one.
I'm already on. Yeah, that's why I have so people ask me, how do I have so much? Because I'm not afraid to try things. You know what I'm saying? Like I know people. Like I could how many, let me see, leggings, we probably release like 18 leggings a year. I know some people who release like 2 or 3 items a year, and that's just leggings. You know what I'm saying? But that is just not being afraid to do whatever's in our head and believing in ourselves. I know some people who just, they're just different. You know what I mean? Like they start something by Monday, by Friday, they're already doubting themselves. They're doubting their business plan. They got people around them telling them it's not going to work. So all of that stuff matters.
Yeah, like my son, he's doing the martial arts, and
Mhm.
with him, the first time he had a tough time, he was thinking about, oh, it's too hard for me now. But he
Yeah.
kept on going with it. But he sees a lot of kids around him. The first time they get adversity at a young age, they want to
Hmm.
quit. And a lot of times that's because of the support at home. And I know how you are. You have that support system with your moms and everything. How's that? How was she impacting you with everything? With her motivation?
Yeah. Yeah, my mom's big, man. I couldn't quit if I wanted to, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like
That's what's
that's
up.
like, man, if my mom find out I quit, man. Woo! But when we started, man, like a lot of people don't know, like at Game Day Fitness with Lorenzo Perry, my mom used to work out with me. Like when
Oh
I
wow.
doing Game Day Fitness, she was doing Game Day Fitness. So the motivation was always there, and that's actually how I got into like working out and stuff like that. So my mom's really big into it, man. If I'm not up by 5 in the morning, she's already sending me a text like, "Yeah, what are you doing?" I'm
That's
serious. Though. I couldn't quit if I wanted to, man.
that's what's up, man. So we're almost wrapping up, man. I got a couple quick hitters for you. And
Yeah.
the first thing that comes to your head. All right. So the first one, this one's inspired by my son. You get dropped out of a plane on a desert island. You gotta survive for 1 week. It's you and 5 people. Who you taking with you?
Man, 5 people. Who am I taking with me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take you. I'm gonna take Dubs. I'm gonna take my daughter. I'll take my mom's and probably Miss King.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. All right.
Yeah.
So
Honestly, man, I don't know. I probably wouldn't take anybody, man. Like I don't know, man. I don't know.
who's 5 artists you listening to?
Oh man, right now, Styles P, Jadakiss. I'm still a LOX fan. I tell you the truth, I don't really any type of new music. I don't really know. I really honestly be in tune to motivational audios all the time and reading books and stuff. So when it comes to rap and music and stuff, Dave East, I'll throw him in there actually. I like Dave East. I don't know really, to be honest, man. Like
What motivational podcast you listening to?
I like E.T. I do William Hollis. I like him. You know what I'm saying? I'm familiar with him. You know who he is or no?
No.
You definitely heard his speeches. If you hear his voice, you'll be like, oh, okay. I actually speak to him a lot on Instagram, a lot more than a lot of people do it. And he actually just streamed for over 500 million streams on YouTube, so he's coming up. Yeah. E.T. A lot of people. I don't think of everybody's name. Who did he do a collaboration with? Damn, I'm going blank over here.
You ever hear Ed Milet?
Who is it?
Ed Milet.
End My Life?
Ed Milet. Mylet.
Nah, I never heard of him.
He's got a podcast out. He does motivational speaking. He has different guests on there all the time. Yeah, you should listen. Yeah, he's got a nice podcast to listen to.
Okay, yeah. You know what? There's just so much, and everybody got so much healthy and good information for you.
Yeah.
And it's like you could tap in on a Monday, you won't come out until like next Monday. Like there's just so much information and good speakers and motivational stuff, and it's unlimited. That's why I don't understand why people can't do something, because the information's there for us. You just got to be willing to put the time in. You'll send somebody a motivational video or audio or something, it'd be 3 minutes. They're like, man, I'll watch that later or next week or something.
So what's your go-to meal?
My go-to meal? I eat a lot of greens, man. I eat a lot of like greens, so I don't really have a go-to meal, but I stay with the greens, man. I just ab season, especially right now too. Right now is the time to work on a summer body, but yeah, I don't have a go-to meal.
Nice. So if you didn't have any one meal, what would it be? You still sticking with the greens?
Yeah. I stick with the greens, man. Yeah. I don't.
Keep it simple.
Yeah, I keep it simple, man. Yeah. Whatever gets me really through the day, man. Like I just stick to greens, a lot of fruits. You know what I mean? Last year I was eating a lot of pasta and stuff. I put on weight. I had to laying off the pasta a little bit, man. So right now I'm just getting back into my whole fit, even more fit. I'm trying to get back to high school look, man. That lightweight, man. That's what I'm working on right now.
So finally, man, if you could give any person right now coming up some advice, what would you leave them with?
I tell them to honestly, I keep it simple. I ain't gonna big words it and this and that. Just believe in yourself, man. Just believe in yourself. People are gonna doubt you. People are gonna tell you it can't work. People are gonna tell you you're crazy. People are gonna distance themselves from you. People are not gonna respond to your texts, your phone calls. People are gonna shadow you. People are gonna act like you don't even exist. You got to know your why. You got to understand your why. If you know your purpose, just put it in the full gear, man, and just do whatever you feel like doing. That's what I would tell people, man.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Mhm.
Thanks again for jumping on, man. Appreciate it. It's always a privilege talking to you, man. Always got the motivation. Can't wait to see what's next.
Yeah, we got a collection coming out right now. Well, it's actually in stock. It's called Action Over Announcements, and that's just action over announcements because 2021 is always about action. You know what I mean? Forget announcing your next move. You know how people, I'm doing this now. Just do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, just get to it. Just be about action. Forget all the announcements. Forget all of that. Take action for 1 month straight, man, and you'll see what happens.
All right, so before we go, where can everyone find you? Where can everyone find the new action gear?
You can check out our website, motivationwear.net. And you can check us out on social media, Motivation Wear, Facebook, Instagram, Motivation Wear, and or Motivation Wear brand.
Again, appreciate it, man, my guy. Salute, man.
Salute, man. I'm going to be up there pretty soon, man. Definitely link up with you.
For sure. All right.
All right, bud.